Chosen one, pause right now. This message found you at this divine moment for a reason. When you get rich, act like you're poor. This is not random spiritual advice. This is heaven's urgent warning for those God is preparing for sudden elevation. The Lord revealed to me that many of you watching right now stand at the edge of a financial breakthrough that will shock those around you. But with this elevation comes danger. Your blessing carries a responsibility that requires divine wisdom. Chosen one, before we go deeper, pause for a moment. If this message is already speaking to your spirit, don't just watch silently. Subscribe now so you don't miss the confirmations God sends your way. You know how the enemy tries to distract you right when you need a word the most. You've felt it already, that unexplainable knowing that you're different. Those nights crying out, wondering why you face such opposition. The confusion when doors slam shut despite your faithfulness. Heaven wants you to know, these aren't punishments, they're preparation. I see in the spirit realm that heaven has marked you. Your name appears on a divine ledger of wealth transfer. This isn't prosperity gospel, this is assignment wealth. Money with divine purpose attached. Resources meant to fund kingdom advancement, not personal glory. But hear this warning clearly. The moment your blessing manifests, spiritual monitors activate. Eyes that never noticed you will suddenly track your movements. Souls that claim to love you will secretly resent your rise. This is why God instructs. When abundance comes, move in silence. When doors open, enter quietly. When influence expands, remain humble. Your wealth is not for display, it's for deployment. Some watching right now have already experienced betrayal from those who sensed your coming elevation. They detected what heaven deposited in your spirit long before any physical manifestation. Your light exposed their darkness, your potential threatened their comfort. God says, I am selecting those who can handle wealth without being handled by it. Those who understand that riches are tools, not trophies. Your selection wasn't random. Heaven observed how you remained faithful when nobody was watching, how you gave from your lack, how you served without recognition. Now, divine compensation approaches, but with it comes responsibility. What awaits you isn't just money, it's divine influence. Currency that carries anointing, resources that reshape generations. But remember, when you get rich, act like you're poor, not from fear, but from wisdom. The warfare has already begun. Before wealth manifests physically, battle rages spiritually. Many of you feel it now, unexplained resistance in areas that once flowed easily, relationships suddenly strained, unusual obstacles blocking simple progress. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmation. The enemy never wastes ammunition on those who pose no threat. The level of opposition reveals the scale of your coming promotion. Your current battles aren't punishment, they're preparation for prominence. Notice how certain friends began distancing themselves without explanation. Their spirits sensed what their minds couldn't comprehend. Your approaching elevation threatens their position in your life. Some companions are assigned only for seasons, not for your entire journey. The financial challenges intensifying despite your increased prayers aren't accidents, they're training grounds. God is teaching you resource management during scarcity, so you'll exercise wisdom during abundance. Current limitations build muscles needed for future multiplication. I see in the spirit that many of you pray for relief, while heaven prepares you for responsibility. You ask, when will this end? While God asks, are you ready for what comes next? Your current pressure isn't crushing you, it's compressing your character into diamond strength integrity. Pay attention to those unusual dreams, warning about people with hidden agendas. Those unexplained feelings of caution around certain individuals. That's divine intelligence protecting heaven's investment in you. A spiritual mentor approaches someone who carries wisdom about wealth with humility. They won't arrive with flash or noise. They'll speak directly to your spirit, with confirmation that silences doubt. When they appear, listen carefully. Their guidance provides critical protection against coming attacks. Remember, visible blessings attract invisible enemies. As your resources increase, so will spiritual resistance. This is why you must develop discernment now, before abundance arrives. The attacks you're experiencing are building spiritual muscles you'll need when wealth comes. Your enemies aren't fighting who you are, they're fighting who you're becoming. The opposition isn't about your present, it's about your future. Heaven allows these challenges now because they reveal who cannot be trusted with your next level. Chosen one. Right now, many of you are experiencing a divine separation that feels like rejection. Phone calls go unanswered. Invitations stop coming. People who once surrounded you have mysteriously disappeared from your life. This isolation isn't a punishment, it's a protection. God is creating sacred space around you. This quiet period isn't abandonment, it's appointment. Heaven has you in a divine incubator where your blessing can form without interference. Those nights when tears soak your pillow, when prayers seem to hit the ceiling, when you cry out, "God, where are you?" He is closer than ever. Your suffering isn't silent to heaven. Every tear is collected, every prayer recorded, every moment of faithfulness during isolation noticed. You've always sensed you were different. As a child, you felt things others couldn't feel, saw things others couldn't see, understood things beyond your years. This uniqueness that once made you feel odd is exactly what makes you dangerous to the enemy and valuable to God's purposes. That's why isolation has found you. Your difference threatens systems designed to keep you ordinary. Your potential disrupts comfortable rhythms others have built their identities around. Your growth exposes their stagnation. Listen closely. A prophecy approaches through unexpected lips. Someone you wouldn't consider spiritual will speak words that confirm everything stirring in your spirit. They'll mention wealth coming to you, not just money, but influence, favor, opportunity. Their words will feel like they've read your journal, seen your prayers, heard your midnight conversations with God. This prophecy isn't just about making you comfortable, it's about making you consequential. The wealth heading toward you carries assignment, not just enjoyment. But understand this revelation. Your isolation is strategic. God keeps hidden what hell wants to destroy. Your blessing requires secrecy before it requires showcase. The absence around you creates space for abundance to enter. The loneliness you feel is actually loving protection. The rejection you experience is really divine redirection. The silence that hurts your heart is building strength in your spirit. Your isolation isn't permanent, it's preparatory. Not a life sentence, but a training ground. Not abandonment, but alignment for what approaches on your horizon. The pain cuts deepest when delivered by familiar hands. Many of you watching have recently experienced shocking betrayal from someone you trusted completely. That friend who suddenly turned against you, that confidant who leaked your secrets, that partner who abandoned the vision you both built. This betrayal feels random, but hear heaven's perspective. It's revelatory. God allowed this person's true nature to surface before your elevation, not after. Their betrayal now saves you from devastation later. Family members question your sanity. Why are you still believing for this? When will you get realistic? Maybe it's time to give up this spiritual journey. Their doubts plant seeds of uncertainty in your mind. Their practical concerns sound reasonable, even loving, but their limited vision cannot comprehend your unlimited calling. What feels like betrayal is actually divine filtering, separating who belongs in your future from who was only meant for your past. Every person who exits makes room for divine connections who can handle your next level. Last night, heaven sent you a dream. You saw yourself in a room where people wore masks. One by one, the masks fell away, revealing true identities. This wasn't just a dream, it was divine intelligence, showing you that current betrayals are uncovering false alliances before your wealth arrives. The spiritual battle intensifies because breakthrough nears. Notice how peace disappears when you pray about your purpose, how confusion clouds your mind when you consider your calling, how fatigue hits when you focus on your future. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations you're moving in the right direction. Now you stand at a critical crossroad, choosing bitterness or blessing, holding grudges or holding on to grace. Revenge feels justified. Anger seems appropriate. But unforgiveness builds cages, not kingdoms. Bitterness poisons you more than your betrayers. This emotional turning point determines your elevation. Your response to betrayal qualifies or disqualifies you for the wealth awaiting you. Choose forgiveness, not because they deserve it, but because your destiny demands it. Release them, not to free them, but to free yourself for what approaches. Your betrayal isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of your breakthrough. What they meant for harm, God transforms into preparation. Their rejection becomes your redirection toward greater purpose. Chosen one, for many watching, you've reached that sacred breaking point, that midnight moment where your strength failed completely, where tears became prayers when words no longer formed, where you finally whispered, "God, I can't do this anymore." This surrender isn't weakness, it's wisdom. This breaking isn't failure, it's freedom. Heaven waited for this precise moment when your hands released everything you've been desperately trying to control. Your powerful prayer echoed through the spirit realm. Either take this cup from me or give me strength to drink it. That honest cry opened doors that religious performance never could. Heaven responds not to perfect prayers but to authentic surrender. In this moment of complete emptiness, unexpected visitation approaches. Some will experience this as an actual angel, bright light in your room, sudden warmth, unexplainable peace. Others will encounter a human messenger bringing divine confirmation. Many will receive dreams so vivid they feel more real than waking life. Pay attention to the specific instructions delivered in this visitation. They'll seem unusual, perhaps even illogical. Move in silence. Tell no one about coming blessing. Prepare in secret. Guard your words about your future. These aren't suggestions, they're strategic directives for protecting your promised wealth. For the first time, you glimpse heaven's wealth strategy. What I do in secret, I will reward openly. Your breaking point becomes your breakthrough point. Your surrender becomes your strength. Your emptiness becomes your evidence that God alone deserves glory for what comes next. The divine paradox unfolds. Your perceived ending marks your true beginning. What looks like collapse is actually clearing space. What feels like death is delivery of new life. What seems like rejection is really reposition for elevation. This midnight moment qualifies you for morning mercy. Your complete honesty with heaven about your limitations demonstrates readiness for heaven's limitless provision. Your breaking becomes your blessing. Listen, I know you're watching quietly, just taking everything in. But chosen ones like you don't come across these messages by accident. If this is touching your soul, hit that subscribe button. Don't keep walking through spiritual warfare alone when a whole family of chosen ones is right here with you. The shift happens suddenly. After seasons of struggle, unexpected blessing appears. The check arrives without explanation. The opportunity opens without application. The connection forms without introduction. The door unlocks without your pushing. This initial blessing feels random, but carries divine fingerprints. Look closely at the timing, the amount, the source. Notice how it directly addresses needs you mentioned only in private prayer. This isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. Now comes your first spiritual test with wealth. How will you handle this initial taste of promised abundance? Many fail here, not with major wealth, but with minor blessings. They broadcast what should remain confidential. They display what requires discretion. Feel that pull to announce your blessing, that urge to post, share, prove to doubters that God finally came through. This impulse isn't celebration, it's validation seeking. True wealth carriers understand silence surrounding blessing ensures its multiplication. Already, watchers have been assigned to monitor your elevation. That sudden reconnection from someone long absent from your life. That unexpected interest from people who previously ignored you. That random phone call asking detailed questions about your finances. These aren't innocent coincidences, they're information gathering. Some of these watchers wear friendly faces, but carry harmful intentions. Not all of them consciously realize their assignment. Many genuinely believe their curiosity is innocent. But spiritual forces use them to collect intelligence about your blessing. Heaven now reveals. This small blessing tests your stewardship before greater wealth arrives. How you handle little determines if you receive much. This initial provision isn't the promised abundance. It's preparation for it. Your management of this first blessing creates spiritual infrastructure for increased influence. Your discretion develops muscles needed for coming responsibility. Your contentment with enough proves readiness for abundance. Remember the divine instruction. When you get rich, act like you're poor. Not from shame about blessing, but from wisdom about warfare. Not from fear of enjoyment, but from understanding of assignment. Not from false humility, but from strategic advancement. Chosen one, when blessing begins to flow, heaven doesn't leave you without guidance. A divine mentor now enters your life, someone who carries unusual wisdom about wealth with exceptional humility. This person won't announce their assignment. They'll appear naturally, perhaps as a chance meeting, a random introduction, or reconnection with someone from your past. What distinguishes this mentor from false guides? They focus more on character than currency, more on wisdom than wealth, more on purpose than prosperity. Their counsel feels challenging rather than comfortable. They speak to your potential, not your present limitations. Through this mentor, heaven reveals 3 critical secrets about protecting divine blessings. Listen carefully. First, wealth announced prematurely attracts assignment sabotage. Every kingdom purpose faces opposition. Money that funds divine assignments becomes a primary target. Silence creates spiritual cover that confusion cannot penetrate. Second, true wealth multiplies under pressure rather than pleasure. What comes easily often leaves quickly. Blessing that faces resistance develops resilience. Your current constraints actually protect your coming abundance. Third, kingdom currency requires kingdom character. Your capacity to manage wealth directly connects to your capacity to manage yourself. Self-control precedes wealth control. Integrity forms the vault that holds heaven's provision. Now approaches your first major temptation, an opportunity promising immediate advancement but requiring subtle compromise. The offer appears perfectly timed, financially advantageous, and impressively presented. Every natural instinct says, accept quickly. But spiritual discernment whispers, examine carefully. This opportunity contains hidden hooks agreements that entangle your future for temporary gain. The compromise seems minor, almost insignificant, but seemingly small compromises create major detours from destiny. Meanwhile, peers pressure you to display your blessing. You deserve to enjoy it. Why hide what God gave you? People need to see how God blessed you. Their encouragement sounds spiritual, but leads to exposure that heaven warned against. You stand at a destiny-altering decision point. Choose validation now or victory later. Choose temporary approval or permanent purpose. Choose visible success or invisible strength. The wisdom training reaches its peak when you intentionally choose obscurity over exposure. When you decline opportunities that would showcase blessing but compromise calling. When you resist using wealth to impress people who doubted you. This counterintuitive choice feels costly now, but creates capacity for coming abundance. Your willingness to remain hidden qualifies you for promotion that requires humility to sustain. The opposition intensifies from surprising sources. Religious leaders, those expected to celebrate heaven's blessing, question your sudden elevation. It happened too fast. It doesn't follow traditional paths. It skipped established protocols. Their criticism masks fear that your blessing exposes their limitations. More painful still, former mentors transform into critics. Those who prophesied your future now question your present. Those who taught you now doubt you. Those who opened initial doors now attempt to close bigger ones. Their opposition reveals uncomfortable truth. Some guides are assigned only for seasons, not for your complete journey. This rejection feels personal, but reflects spiritual principle. Elevation often requires separation. New levels demand new relationships. Some connections cannot stretch to accommodate your expansion. As your wealth increases, so does spiritual attack. Notice the unusual health challenges that appeared suddenly, the unexplained obstacles in areas previously flowing smoothly, the strange resistance from systems that typically work efficiently. These aren't random difficulties, they're targeted responses to your advancing purpose. In this intense opposition, divine intervention arrives through most unlikely source, someone you previously dismissed, overlooked, or even disliked. This unexpected ally carries confirmation that silences doubt. Their support comes not from personal affection, but from spiritual assignment. They recognize what others cannot see. Their appearance fulfills heaven's pattern. Help often comes from unanticipated directions. Their unlikely support proves that God chooses messengers based on assignment, not appearance. This ally brings hidden revelation. Your enemies advertise your promotion. Every accusation announces your advancement. Every criticism confirms your calling. Every attack affirms your anointing. Opposition doesn't stop destiny. It actually accelerates it by creating divine attention. The very people attempting to block you unknowingly broadcast you. Their resistance becomes your recognition. Their opposition becomes your opportunity. Their rejection becomes your recommendation. This revelation transforms how you view opposition. What once caused pain now produces perspective. What once created confusion now confirms direction. What seemed like warfare against you was actually warfare against what you carry. Chosen one, prepare your heart. The major financial breakthrough heaven promised now manifests with unexpected force. The amount exceeds your prayers. The timing defies explanation. The source carries divine fingerprints. This blessing arrives not gradually but suddenly, not partially but completely. This moment tests your spirit more than any previous trial. As abundance flows, pride whispers, "You earned this. You deserved this. You waited long enough." These thoughts seem innocent but open dangerous doors. The greatest threat to your purpose isn't poverty, but pride after provision. Feel that subtle shift in your thinking, that newfound confidence bordering on arrogance, that desire to finally prove yourself to doubters, that urge to display what God provided. These impulses reveal the hidden battle wealth creates within your heart. Heaven sends a warning dream tonight. You'll see someone climbing steep stairs while carrying heavy gold. Near the top, they begin announcing their achievement. Their voice awakens sleeping enemies who push them down. You'll awaken understanding. Premature proclamation endangers divine promotion. This dream isn't just symbolic, it's strategic instruction about wealth that destroys. Throughout history, many chosen ones received blessing but lost covering, gained provision but sacrificed protection, accumulated resources but abandoned relationship with the provider. Now comes the critical character test. An opportunity arises to either humble yourself or elevate yourself. Someone publicly questions your blessing, suggesting improper sources or methods. Every natural instinct demands defense, explanation, proof of legitimacy. But heaven whispers, "Remain silent. Let me defend what I provided." Your response to this accusation determines your capacity for greater blessing. Defending yourself limits divine defense. Justifying yourself restricts heaven's justification. Answering critics depletes energy needed for assignment advancement. Then comes the ultimate humility challenge. Heaven directs you to secretly bless the very person who attacked you most viciously. Not publicly, where others witness your generosity. Not partially, where the gift seems insignificant. But substantially and secretly, where only God sees your obedience. This act breaks pride's power completely. Blessing enemies without recognition demonstrates character that can handle wealth without corruption. Your secret generosity confirms readiness for public promotion. Your ability to bless without broadcast proves qualification for prosperity with purpose. The atmosphere in your prayer space changes suddenly. Temperature shifts, pressure alters, peace descends with unusual weight. An angelic messenger stands before you, not with wings and light as often portrayed, but with normal appearance carrying extraordinary presence. This messenger brings heaven's complete wealth strategy, not just fragments or hints, but comprehensive instruction. Their words carry authority that silences doubt, clarity that dispels confusion, and wisdom that transcends human understanding. The messenger reveals 5 spiritual principles for handling assignment wealth versus ego wealth. First, assignment wealth flows towards specific purpose, not general pleasure. Every dollar carries designation. Every resource contains responsibility. Heaven tracks how provision aligns with purpose. Second, divine wealth requires divine accounting. Record everything. Track every blessing. Document every distribution. This discipline isn't about legalism, but legacy creating patterns future generations will follow. Third, wealth flows through open hands, not closed fists. Generous giving ensures continuous receiving. Hoarding halts heaven's supply. The flow stops when accumulation replaces distribution. Fourth, Financial increase requires relational decrease. As resources grow, relationships reduce. Not all connections can handle your elevation. Some attachments become hindrances. Blessing often necessitates boundary setting. Fifth, true wealth carries multi-generational impact. This provision isn't for your lifetime only. It establishes foundations for children you haven't yet met, influences systems you'll never personally enter, and funds purposes you won't live to see completed. The messenger then grants vision beyond current circumstances. You see future generations receiving benefits from decisions you make now, communities transformed through initiatives you establish, systems altered through influence you cultivate. This glimpse reveals you're building beyond yourself. Then comes sobering revelation. Specific enemies received assignment to track and steal your blessing. Some through relationship manipulation, some through financial schemes, some through health attacks, some through false spiritual guidance. Their strategies vary, but their goal remains constant: derail heaven's wealth transfer before complete manifestation. This warning isn't to create fear, but foster wisdom. Knowledge of opposition enables appropriate protection. Understanding enemy tactics prevents successful implementation. The messenger delivers final revelation before departing. Your wealth is not for display, it's for destiny. Not for status, but for service. Not for comfort, but for calling. Stop right here. If you haven't subscribed yet, ask yourself, why? Every time you search for clarity, every time you feel overwhelmed, God guides you to messages like this. Don't reject what heaven is trying to give you. Subscribe so you stay connected to the voice that lifts you when no one else does. Chosen one, your obedience activates heaven's next phase. You begin implementing the divine wealth strategy without announcement or attention. Each morning, you review heaven's instructions. Each decision aligns with purpose rather than preference. Each resource assignment follows spiritual guidance rather than emotional impulse. Notice the confusion on faces of those who previously betrayed you. They sense change, but receive no explanation. They detect elevation, but can't identify its source. They observe blessing, but lack context to understand it. Their confusion confirms your obedience to heaven's instruction for silence. Why aren't they posting about their success? Why no announcement about their new position? Why such quietness about their obvious breakthrough? These questions reveal expectation patterns you've broken by choosing strategic silence over social validation. Divine connections now appear with precise timing. That chance, meeting with someone carrying exactly what your assignment requires. That unexpected introduction to person holding key information you've sought for months. That random phone call offering partnership that perfectly aligns with heaven's revealed strategy. These connections differ from previous relationships. They recognize your assignment without explanation. They respect your boundaries without offense. They contribute value without demanding control. They honor your vision without inserting their agenda. Your first major spiritual victory manifests a blessing whose source cannot be traced to human origin, not through known network, not through visible opportunity, not through logical progression. This provision arrives through channels so unusual that only divine intervention explains its appearance. This untraceable blessing proves heaven's direct involvement. Its timing answers private prayers. Its amount addresses specific needs mentioned only in your secret devotions. Its nature confirms words spoken by the angelic messenger. With this victory comes profound revelation. Heaven hides what hell would destroy. Your blessing remains protected precisely because it remains private. Your advancement continues unhindered because it continues unannounced. Your influence expands effectively because it expands quietly. This concealed operation isn't permanent, it's strategic. Not forever, but for now. Not from fear, but from wisdom. The silence surrounding your success ensures its sustainability. The privacy protecting your promotion guarantees its permanence. Chosen one, your silent advancement triggers aggressive response. Despite your discretion, evidence of blessing becomes increasingly difficult to conceal. Your improved circumstances, expanded influence, and undeniable favor generate attention, and with attention comes attack. Rumors spread questioning the source of your new wealth. It happened too quickly to be legitimate. Where did it really come from? What did they compromise to get it? Who are they really connected to? These accusations attempt to attach shame to what heaven provided with honor. The spiritual warfare intensifies beyond anything previously experienced. Physical health challenges appear suddenly, unusual symptoms doctors struggle to diagnose. Relationship conflicts erupt without explanation, misunderstandings that defy resolution despite clear communication. Financial systems malfunction, specifically with your accounts errors affecting only your transactions. This coordinated attack reveals the enemy's desperation. Previous subtle opposition becomes blatant obstruction. Previous hidden resistance becomes visible roadblocks. Previous quiet criticism becomes public accusation. The intensity confirms you've touched something significant. The ferocity proves you're advancing effectively. In this heightened battle, a dangerous voice emerges. Someone approaches offering easier path to wealth manifestation. Their credentials seem impressive, their spiritual language sounds authentic, their knowledge of your situation appears supernatural, but something in your spirit hesitates, questioning their convenient appearance during your greatest pressure. This false prophet presents alternative to heaven's demanding strategy. Why struggle unnecessarily? Why such rigid obedience? Why such extreme separation? Why such intense sacrifice? There's simpler way to manifest your blessing. Their words resonate with your weariness, appealing to legitimate desire for relief from warfare. This moment produces critical doubt. Is this wealth worth the warfare? This blessing worth the battle? This elevation worth the opposition? The question emerges not from unfaith but from fatigue. Not from disobedience, but from honest assessment of personal cost. In this vulnerable moment, heaven provides supernatural confirmation through 3 separate witnesses. First, a stranger approaches with message addressing your exact doubt, using words only spoken in private prayer. Second, written confirmation arrives through scripture or book, opening precisely to passage speaking directly to your situation. Third, dream visitation brings comfort so tangible you awaken with physical evidence of the encounter. These 3 witnesses deliver identical message. The warfare intensifies because victory approaches. The opposition increases because impact expands. The pressure multiplies because purpose manifests. What you now endure prepares you for what you soon enjoy. Chosen one, heaven now pulls back the veil to reveal profound truth. You never stood alone. Across cities, nations, and continents, God simultaneously prepares other chosen vessels, receiving identical instruction about wealth, transfer, and divine elevation. This revelation arrives through unexpected encounter, perhaps while traveling, during routine errand, or through introduction that feels oddly familiar despite being new. You'll meet someone whose experiences mirror yours so precisely that coincidence cannot explain the similarities. Their testing seasons, breakthrough patterns, and even specific spiritual language align with your journey. Through this divine connection, you discover others also receiving heaven's wealth with identical instruction. Move in silence, build in secret, protect the process. These aren't random believers, but specifically selected carriers, individuals whose character endured refinement, whose faith survived prolonged testing, whose hearts remained pure despite extended pressure. Their selection, like yours, came not from perfect performance, but from persistent faithfulness during seasons others abandoned their posts. Divine orchestration brings 5 of these wealth carriers together, not through public gathering but through private assembly. This meeting occurs not in religious setting, but in unexpected location that provides perfect cover for heavenly business. The gathering feels simultaneously natural and supernatural, casual in appearance, but cosmic in significance. In this gathering, strategic support forms as each shares specific wisdom from their implementation journey. One reveals protection protocols for family members when wealth increases. Another demonstrates administrative systems for tracking divine resources. Another explains boundary setting with former relationships, attempting reconnection after blessing manifestation. This exchange creates supernatural support system, accountability without control, guidance without manipulation, fellowship without competition. For the first time, you experience authentic community with others who understand your unique calling without explanation. The most powerful moment comes with emotional revelation. You were never meant to carry this alone. The isolation you endured was preparatory, not permanent. The loneliness you experienced was strategic, not punitive. The separation you suffered was protective, not rejective. Through this hidden blessing network, heaven establishes foundation for coming kingdom impact that transcends individual achievement. Your combined resources, wisdom, and influence will transform systems resistant to single breakthrough, but vulnerable to coordinated advancement. Chosen one, heaven now grants unprecedented intelligence, complete revelation of coordinated attack against your elevation. What appeared as disconnected obstacles, random setbacks, and isolated challenges suddenly reveals itself as strategic campaign orchestrated by forces threatened by your approaching influence. This revelation begins with shocking confession from someone close to you, a friend you've known for years, perhaps even trusted with confidential matters. Their unexpected admission stuns you. I was sent to monitor your progress, to gather information about your plans, to identify your vulnerabilities, to report your movements to those opposing your rise. This painful disclosure triggers initial hurt but delivers crucial insight. Their assignment confirms your significance. Their deployment reveals your threat level to opposing forces. Their confession exposes operational methods targeting all chosen wealth carriers. Through this unexpected source, divine intelligence reveals specific names and strategies of spiritual opposition assigned against you. You discover precise tactics designed to delay your advancement through carefully positioned discouragement, derail your focus through strategically timed crises, diminish your impact through relationship conflicts that drain emotional energy, destroy your testimony through financial traps disguised as opportunities. This intelligence isn't meant to create fear but to forge strategy, not to produce anxiety but to perfect awareness, not to generate paranoia but to guarantee protection. With names and tactics exposed, heaven activates unprecedented protection through specific prayer strategy revealed during your morning devotion. You receive explicit instructions to pray differently, not general prayers, but precise declarations targeting exposed operations. These prayers produce immediate results. Attacks previously effective suddenly fail. Strategies previously successful suddenly collapse. Operations previously hidden suddenly expose themselves. The warfare shifts dramatically from defense to offense as your prayers dismantle opposition infrastructure rather than merely resisting individual attacks. This divine counteroffensive creates turning point in your journey. What enemies designed to destroy you now displays God's power through you. What opposition orchestrated to obstruct you now operates to advance you. What warfare intended to weaken you now works to strengthen you. You watch in amazement as former roadblocks transform into stepping stones, as previous delays reveal themselves as divine protection, as apparent setbacks expose themselves as strategic setups for greater advancement. The revelation culminates in powerful understanding. What was meant to destroy you will now display God's power. Your opposition never threatened your destiny, it actually trained you for it. Your warfare never endangered your calling, it equipped you for it. Your battles never risked your future, they refined you for it. Chosen one, the moment arrives that heaven promised through years of preparation. The complete manifestation of wealth flows with divine precision and supernatural protection. What began as whispered prophecy now stands as tangible reality. What started as seed faith now produces harvest abundance. What initiated as hidden potential now operates as visible power. This wealth arrives differently than expected, not with public fanfare, but private confirmation. Not with instant delivery, but strategic distribution. Not with obvious source, but untraceable supply. The provision appears exactly as heaven described. Assignment, wealth, rather than ego enhancement. With full resources now available, you implement blessing strategy revealed through angelic messenger. You establish foundations without attaching your name, launch initiatives without claiming credit, fund ministries without seeking recognition, build businesses without broadcasting ownership. Your fingerprints remain absent from public view while your impact transforms entire communities. This anonymous approach confuses those accustomed to achievement announcement. Your silence regarding success contradicts cultural expectations of wealth display. Your continued humble lifestyle despite abundant resources bewilders those watching for external change. Your quiet operation frustrates enemies anticipating obvious target. Most powerful of all, your strategic giving now reaches those who previously attacked you most viciously. Former enemies unknowingly receive help through channels impossible to trace back to you. The business partner who betrayed you now receives funding through anonymous investor. The relative who rejected you now finds unexpected financial relief through unnamed benefactor. The community leader who opposed you now directs programs secretly supported by your resources. This redemptive strategy produces supernatural satisfaction beyond personal revenge. Your obedience to heaven's counterintuitive instruction, bless those who curse you, creates protection money alone cannot purchase. Your generous response toward opposition establishes authority religious performance never achieves. Your quiet kindness toward enemies demonstrates character that qualifies for continued kingdom wealth transfer. Through this process comes final revelation that transforms your entire perspective. True wealth measures impact, not appearance. Purpose fulfilled, not possessions flaunted. Lives changed, not lifestyle elevated. This understanding liberates you completely from cultural wealth metrics. Your value no longer derives from visible assets, but invisible influence. Your significance no longer depends on public recognition, but private obedience. Your success no longer requires external validation, but internal alignment with divine assignment. Now heaven releases prophetic declaration for every viewer connecting with this message. Your season of hidden preparation ends today. Heaven's wealth transfer has already begun toward you. The opposition you currently face confirms the blessing already approved for your life. The pressure you presently endure prepares the character required for coming provision. The isolation you experience protects the calling money will soon fund. The instruction remains clear. When you get rich, act like you're poor. Not from insecurity, but from strategy. Not from fear, but from wisdom. Not from false humility, but from genuine understanding that true kingdom wealth operates most effectively in secret. Before you go, chosen one, don't forget. The fact that you made it to the end of this message means something. Your spirit needed this. Don't walk away without subscribing. It costs nothing, but it means everything for the journey God is taking you on. Join the family. Your breakthrough might be in the next video.